my friends. So, we start this. What if Issei was basically the reincarnation of Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. So you might be wondering, why the fuck are you doing this? Well, they're all powerful as shit, and I want to make Issei OP. So fuck you. Not that that's out of the way. Issei starts out in the world, and he just already knows he's the strongest. Like, he's born to be the best. Hold up. So, I have another friend here. The other one left. Whatever. Because we're tired of people always interrupting it.
I won't say anything.
Alright, so, we have Broly's part of him just showing pure wrath, Vegeta showing pride, and Goku showing humility. So, it's very unbalanced in there, so his mental fortitude is not great. It's like a fusion between them all, and it's forever, so yeah.
Although his perv level is over 9,000.
It's still the same.
Yeah. His perv level is still the same.
But now he's stronger, bigger, better.
In a way.
In all ways, literally, dude.
Yes.
So he's born already able to, basically, whenever he's able to walk, he's already able to pick up a grown man. But his parents don't ever find out about it because he hides it. Because fuck you, I'm not getting experimented on, fuckers. So, over the years, he becomes perverted, and he's stronger. He's built like a truck.
No one can take him down. He gets into fights even though he gets beat up for no reason just because
literally, he stands there and takes hits like Broly would, and he just grabs the guy like, you a bitch, and then throws him
to the other side of the room. It's like, bro.
It's like, what the fuck did we just fight? Because it's like hitting a brick wall, but the brick wall can punch you back.
Yes.
So yes, that's how it goes until we get to like where he is in canon, the beginning of the story, where that fallen angel chick tries to kill him. Same thing happened. He fell for it because he's perverted and needed and wanted a girl.
Even though he can't commit to it.
No, he actually was gonna commit to it.
But then when he's naked with the girl in the bed, he can't do shit.
No. What I mean is like the chick that killed him. You know, he never got naked with her. So.
No, I'm talking about
yes, I know that'll happen later.
Yeah.
So we have Issei straight up being like, fuck. Well, didn't want to have to use this, but boom. And he goes into Ultra Instinct, like, well, you better start running.
Reyes is just over there watching, thinking.
He's like, oh, fuck no, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the fallen angels come and stab him with light spears. And he thinks because he's Broly, he doesn't even take a flinch. But because he's using a power of angels from another universe, they is known as the angel's power. Then he used a demonic power of a berserker version of it, which is something Vegeta had, which is what's known from the demon universe. And the fallen angel universe, he uses a form called berserker, which is basically where he just beats the shit out of someone for like 20 minutes straight. And he used all of that. And no one wants to fucking square up with him because it's too fucking strong. Literally, the leaders are the only people that have that much strength. So, long story short, he killed all of them, but in the final ditch effort, they all stabbed him in the chest and would have killed him. And he was stubborn, saying, I fucking wish I had a senzu bean. When he hit the ground. And then, he wakes up with Reese in his bed, and he's like, fuck, my mom's not gonna catch me like this. Tries hiding her. Unsuccessful, because Reese just jumps out. And he's like, fuck! And he starts yelling. And when his dad finds out, he's like, good job, son. And he's already like martial arts master, but he's still kind of perverted.
Yeah.
So whenever like he fights, like he seriously can wail on someone. He's like,
if he wants to really be pervy in the fight, he could just go over there, super speed,
squeak.
grab, squeak, yes, honk, honk.
Yeah, that's why it'd be terrifying to deal with him.
Yes,
so
especially for girls.
There is, and then eventually, we get to the whole thing where he's going out for his first time and trying to summon his gear. But he summoned multiple. He summoned the red dragon gear as in canon. He summoned the blue dragon gear, which is basically the one where you can take someone's power and say, fuck you. But only once. The black dragon's gear. And that's the dragon that basically says, fuck you, reverse time for 5 seconds. And because when he uses them all together, they kind of all intertwine to make the ultimate dragon emperor. Which is something that no one's ever been able to deal with. Because most people don't even have one, but this guy has 3. And these are all dragon Longinuses that are strong enough to beat when combined, make the 13th Longinus.
And with his powers already, that would make him most powerful being in that AU specifically. He could probably travel to other with his power considering he could probably rip the
No
fabric
doubt.
of time.
He
Yes,
could.
Yes.
But we get to the whole thing where he basically just steps up, and then we have the Riser fight. Now, the only reason he's going to struggle in that fight is because Riser's immortal. That's the only reason. And he's still just over blunt powered, the fucker. Even just using one of his... He wouldn't even need a Sacred Gear. He just goes in berserk and just starts tearing apart his team.
Yeah.
He doesn't kill anyone, but he injured them very badly. And then when he got to Riser, he's like, oh, you're immortal? That'll make it fun. And he said... And Rhea still jumps out running like stupid and got beaten. And then he says, like, fuck!
Then he gets all mad and actually...
And almost blew up the entire testing ground. Luckily for him, the entirety of it, both teams were already taken out.
Yeah.
The only reason he wasn't because he hadn't reported to the circle yet. And even, like, everyone is scared shitless when they feel the power he's emanating. But then we have something unexpected. An unexpected visitor. It is the god of everything. God. While he was thought to be dead, he's just hiding like, fuck no, I'm not getting in that fight. Alright, so you want to have any mentions on this?
Alright, not really.
Well, so far, Issei is able to whoop everyone.
Okay.
And then we get to the point when Issei just starts wailing. And then, as Issei is mad that he was defeated, basically because Rias was being retarded,
He meets God.
he steps up. And he meets all dragons like saying, yo, I'm fucking king of dragons now. Anyone wants to say otherwise, even the true king of dragons, I'm gonna kill him. So he basically walks up in there like he gives zero shits, wearing a suit and tie, and says, hey, you the bitch. And everyone turned their head being like, who the fuck you think you talking to, little newborn demon?
Then like All Might's punch in like the first
No.
episode. He's like air punch.
And then he pointed straight to Riser. He's like, oh, you talking big shit? Well, I beat you, so let's go. And then he straight up just boom. Ultimate power with his two gauntlets, red and blue, and then the black helmet. And he flies forward with like godly force and buffs up, shattering his clothes.
First, you could just do the same thing All Might did in like
Which
season,
basically
episode
he
1.
does have like the Broly kind of stretchy fabric for all his clothes because he kind of needs it.
Yeah.
So he straight up just boom.
like air punches and then this whole
And
like,
he hit,
tornado, like.
and he went around and kind of grabbed onto Riser, and Riser like, fuck.
I mean, you would possibly have the God of
And
Destruction.
some of them just
symbol
ran
on
like,
his
fuck
chest.
this shit, I'm out.
Well, yeah, because Vegeta was a god of destruction, Goku was an angel, and Broly was just strong as shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Like,
to
he
me-
got another play. He was like another god or something. I don't know. Probably like the god of death or something. I don't know. Probably makes sense. Well, he literally got there. Well, everyone noticed that as the literal god of the demons, you know, Rias' brother said, hey, we is not doing this. There will be a proper duel. He says, like, deal. And everyone's a little surprised because someone just accepted a duel against Riser, the immortal. So it's like, oh, fuck yeah. So they both gear up, and Issei's allowed to go to anything he wants. So he chooses to turn all 8 of his pawn pieces into queen. And he uses all the magic he has to make one dragon shot. Now, note, he's combined it with ki for basically a ki blast of all fuck you kind of proportions. He
Yeah.
throws these, and Riser's like, oh, whatever. And he takes it, and it ripped him apart. Literally, the only thing left of him was his head.
Yeah, it's like
And
spirit
Issei
bomb.
picked him up. Issei picked him up saying, "You's a bitch." As he grew back, his limbs in flames, he said, "That fucking hurt." But he's still stubborn, so he keeps fighting until Issei is just like, you know what, fuck you. And then just says, "Holy might." And basically destroys him with godly ki being forced into his body until he died.
Yeah.
Now,
Basically, I got overloaded with power.
we get, and he basically just walks through every other challenge until we hit Beelzebub, you know, one of the strongest fallen angels.
Yep.
He actually gave Issei a fight until Issei was like, okay, you're the bitch, and then punched him,
Well, it
powering
seems
up
that
into
he's-
like a 1% of his power.
Well, it seems like he's getting
he-
stronger
like,
by every
He
fight.
turned his
so
fist
that's-
into a spirit bomb for a second.
Well,
Yeah, basically.
Human-like spirit bomb.
Yes.
There we go.
But he included his magic and demon powers into everything he does. And he still dresses like this just because it would look nice.
And he's a
Yeah.
sexy motherfucker. I meant something
I'm
else.
sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what?
And then he's a cool motherfucker.
And no one's ever been able to actually take on Issei. And he actually has had multiple opportunities to sleep with the girls. But in this version, he's like, no, fuck you. I'm not trying to do that right now. So let me fucking train in peace.
No, he doesn't want to get OCD.
He's like Goku when he just gets training, he won't stop.
And Broly.
Yeah.
Everyone, even Vegeta, like, we all know they would, like,
They would
postpone
just-
time with their wives to fight.
They're just like, bro, marriage postponed and go train for like another 10 years. And like, okay, I'm ready.
And then that's what he did in the.
That's what he did to Chi-Chi.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It was so stupid.
He's like, okay, fuck you, I'm gonna go train.
I'm
now."
training, bitch. I forgot the wedding.
So the Goku part of him's like, fuck yeah. The Vegeta's part of him like, smash, smash, you dumbass, smash. And Broly's like, y'all are both retarded.
But let's fight anyway.
And they actually duel in his head. Now, at one point, he is asleep one day alone, which is hard as fuck for him to do. So he just usually like buys like a motel room for a night, and no one even knows where the fuck he is. And he has to like hide his magic, so Reese can't find him. So he basically sleeps, and then he meets Vegeta, Broly, and Goku, as well as the dragons, who all kind of fit each other. Broly is like the black dragon as he blasts stuff from his mouth. Vegeta's kind of like the blue dragon, and the red dragon is kind of like Goku.
Yep.
In this version now. Noting that all of them are the strongest 3 dragons to ever exist, maybe except the white dragon, who was basically equal with the red dragon, who was the strongest of the 3, so they were like the first and the third and fourth. So people aren't going to fucking square up with him.
Obviously.
It's like no.
But
question.
then you have one moment when Cyborg, announcing that he wanted to actually have a good fight against Issei, actually fights him because he basically just walked over like literally everything Loki threw at him and then said, hey, you a bitch. Because that's his basically current mode. Like literally every time he beats someone, he's like, hey, you're a bitch. And then he walks away.
And you be honest, he could just one-punch all of them and be done with
He
it. But
basically
likes to have his
fucking
fun.
does.
Yeah, he just wants to have his fun.
But he always holds back, which is kind of like his thing, is that he'll start off, like, even if they're, like, regular human level wanting to fight him, he'll start off, like, weaker than them and let himself get stronger over the fight.
Yeah.
And he allows it to happen. He doesn't fucking keep going. Just
Yeah, he knows it's happening too. He doesn't just like.
I mean, he doesn't give a fuck.
He purposely makes it where he slightly increases until the point where he was stronger than them.
Yeah.
Now, he starts off weaker than them, yes, just to fuck with them. Now, at one point, Issei's already, and this is a little bit after Issei gets out of high school. It's a little bit after the series. He's the god of everything, basically. He's already bitch slapped Michael off the throne, saying, yo, I'm God now.
He bitch slapped Zeus. He bitch slapped every god in existence.
Yes, basically every mythology's god he bitch slaps all the way
just
out.
to make them fall. Just
And
to
then
make them
he
get
is the
punished.
ultimate being, and
Yeah.
no one wants to fucking stop him.
Yeah.
Since he's the only one who's been shown the power of being able to say fuck you to a god. Which he's done to multiple gods. Zeus, Loki, Thor, everyone. He even took Mjolnir and said, hey Thor, I'm gonna shove this up your ass if you don't stop fighting. I can believe you can do it, and you can enlarge that shit, so I'm not gonna
Bro,
deal
even
with that.
Loki's afraid. He won't try shit. He won't even try.
Loki is the god of trickster. Of
Yeah, even
tricks.
Loki's afraid.
And even he doesn't want to play any pranks on him.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to betray him, stab him in the back or nothing. He knows he can just
No, he
whoop
can
his
stab.
ass.
He's attempted to stab him in the back multiple times.
Yeah, but he knows he can
But
just
the
whoop
blade breaks every fucking time.
Exactly.
his- Yeah, he doesn't even notice
Wah,
too.
wah, wah.
No, he noticed. He's like, yo, Loki, I told you to fucking stop on that shit. Those blades are starting to become really fucking expensive. You keep buying the
We're
most
a fucking bill because of you now.
I have a fucking tab.
at the knife shop. And these are the strongest knives they can make. Drink it, boy. So,
Hey, give me.
so we have finished the whole thing, and Issei is now basically saying, you know what? As God, I want to whoop someone. Someone.
So he gets the god of creation to make someone who matches his power level.
Nope. He says, you know what? I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to use some magic and shit, some technology, because Goku, Vegeta, and Broly all had a little bit of info on the time machine.
Yep.
And eventually they actually use it. And the information they have, and the information they all have together is what allows them to use it. But the way they have to power it is through ki and magic, which Issei has no lack of, so he just does it. And the person he put in charge was Kiba, because he's the most real one of them. Like, he's literally the guy they want to call. because he trained with Issei to the point where he was strong enough to be like, hey, you're a bitch. Basically almost everyone, except for Issei himself. And Issei said, stop taking my catchphrase or I'm going to do it to you. Okay. And Kiba's the only one who's allowed to actually fight Issei because he's the best chance against them. Now, at one point, the combined factions that hate Issei all got together and used their strength to basically end Issei's reign by making a magic machine that could blast a hole through his chest. It's strong enough to pierce the entire planet, so it should kill him.
Yes.
At least that's what they think.
But it didn't.
Well, he goes back in time to the point when he was fighting against the strongest people. When Goku, Vegeta, and Broly were all a thing, and he looks like all of them with each of their hair kind of in his. And he meets them and saying, hello, my name is Issei. When you all die, you reincarnate into me, and I am you. So I have your personalities and strengths along with others. And
I could do art on this stuff.
And the only one who I think, and Broly, Goku, and Vegeta all want to fight him and see what he can do. And he beats all of them at once with one hand tied behind his back. And then he's like, and then he meets Zeno saying, wait, Zeno, I heard of you. I think I could beat you. And Zeno and him have a fight. But it's not just Zeno. He's fused with Goku for this fight.
I can't take this.
And he kind of needs to be. So he actually they have a solid match until, boom, 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 done. And Issei finally felt defeat. He finally lost a match. He even pushed him to using his armor. Of all three. And then he walked away, ending the fight. Saying he had lost, he was finally happy being that he had lost a single match. So being that he had lost, he said that he wanted to actually go.
So I see.
So being that he had finally lost, he went back saying he finally felt defeat. And he got a new goal to train for. Immortality until the last day of his life when he is looking upon all his children. Which he has like 30 of.
He finally squared up.
Yeah. Basically his past version's like, yo.
This Wang went into some,
No, he actually got some girl. He actually chose to actually have kids.
Oh.
Yeah,
So he does, and the people he winds up having the strongest kids are with Asya, Zenobia, and Erina. If you want to know why the Rias kid isn't that strong, it's because it doesn't really get much of the. They're all about the same strength, but those are the three strongest that I mentioned. And those kids are just like, they resemble each version of them. Like, they all resemble Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, but those ones take a distinct version of each. Now, what I mean is that they all kind of resemble, like, one of them, like Zenobia's kid, resembles Broly's size and everything. Asia's kid resembles Vegeta's pure anger kind of thing. Actually,
anger.
switch that.
Like,
Switch
Goku's
that.
willing to train.
Asia's kid looks like Broly. Zenobia's kid looks like Vegeta, and the Angel Chick's kid looks exactly like Goku. Noting that he trained, and his kids are actually able to keep up with him, the first people who could. As he trained them in godly ki, each one of them. Even one of them looks like Gohan.
Oh god, no.
Of course, you know.
He has the Gohan hair and everything.
What about Trunks?
You make me sick.
There is one that looks like Trunks, yeah.
Oh, yes.
There even is one that looks like Goten.
The sexy Goku.
No.
I was talking about his teenager version. I meant that's worse.
And it actually is a teenage version, each of them. Like, there's more adult versions, but they are somewhat teenage. The only one I give, like, proper power up to maybe be able to beat Goku is actually his other kid that no one knows he has. He's known as Son of the Dragon. He's called Son of the Dragon. He is the only kid that Issei said, yo, you're gonna have to go somewhere else, man.
Wait a fucking minute.
He let his kid choose.
Wait a fucking minute.
What?
The Dragon Balls. What the fuck happened to them?
The Dragon Balls actually have been kept sacredly because...
What the hell are you looking at?
they're going to go to an Omega Dragon. They're going to go to the Omega Dragon that would basically be able to beat Goku because of how many times they use the Dragon Balls.
That makes sense.
Like GT.
We don't mention GT.
I fucking do. So, at this point, they actually are able to win. And they actually have a plan of using the Dragon Balls one last time. And then they have to beat the dragon, which they do quite easily. So they finally finish the whole world. As Issei is the god of everything, and he dies of old age.
Of course.
He finally fulfilled
Because of every single time he put his body at the line, shortened his lifespan. Literally, when he combined holy and demonic magic, it almost blew him the fuck up.
Yeah, but instead of shortening his lifespan by 10 years.
Nope, it went from like almost infinity to like 500. But Issei kind of outlived all that into almost infinity.
Yeah, but then he died.
And when he finally died after years. So he had finally lost his version of victory. So he has finally ended his reign, letting his kid, the son of the dragon, win. One win. Who is the strongest. He resembles none of them. He resembles pure strength. He left Issei so he could train on his own. And his power even towers over that of everyone. His resemblance to Raditz was uncanny, though. And he was big enough to look eye to eye with the Broly child.
Of course.
And they all know about him, but he can he does whatever he wants. He literally leaves, comes back whenever he feels like. He has his own room, everything, but he's also called the god of almost everything.
Almost everything.
Yes, because Issei's the god of everything.
So he's the god of almost everything. He's like just below Issei.
God,
Yes,
called
he's
the
literally
god
the
of time
only
of
guy who is like he's like right next to your boy Kiba
Nice.
in like rank, but not strength.
I like that.
Well, rank doesn't matter, strength does. So
Yes.
Well, he's stronger than Kiba, but Kiba is just more of, the homie, so that's the only reason that he ranks above him.
Do you train by the turtle?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh shit. You almost made me.
So, they basically finish off as that, and that's all they do. They finally finish the godly training, and Issei dies in peace, letting his kids take over the universe he is fixed. And not gonna lie, they help it stay just as powerful. And that is all for part 1. I mean, yeah, that's actually the whole story, but
we'll try to make more later if we can.
I'll redo the whole series later.